Have you done an event yet? Have you done a home party yet? If not, this video is for you. Even if you have, hopefully, you're gonna get a lot of great tips from today's Tuesday training. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Jacqui Duran, Scentsy Superstar Consultant. It is Tuesday, that means it is Tuesday Training Day. Welcome! For those of you who follow along every single week, thank you for hitting that subscribe button and coming back every single week. Every single Tuesday, this is what we do, people. We talk about Scentsy. We are sharing our tips, our ideas, ways that we're working our business, and coming soon is going to be my new web series on leading a team. So building, recruiting, and leading a team. So watch for that. Oh, well, I don't know about you guys, but even though it's Tuesday, it feels like it's already been a really long week. So we're gonna jump right in. Like I said, this week our topic is going to be holiday events and home parties. For my personal team, I'm gonna go ahead and take a pic of the agenda, and that will be posted in our Facebook group, so you guys have that. First off, let's talk about this. So when we talk about home parties and events and things like that, we're talking about ones that you've already got planned, you've already got booked, you're ready to go. What do you do if you don't yet have any? What if your November and your December just looks blank still? You've got nothing. Where do you start? Where do you begin? So, of course, the very first thing, the first place you're going to start is you're going to do some follow-ups with your customers. And when you're following up with your customers, maybe it's been 2 weeks since you delivered their order. Maybe it's been 2 months. Maybe it's even been 2 years. There is never an expiration date on when you can do a follow-up. I actually find that the ones that I don't want to say neglected, because I hate to think that I'm neglecting anybody, but maybe the ones that I wasn't as strong with my follow-up, or maybe I just never heard back from them. It never ceases to amaze me that those are the people, when I am doing follow-ups and I'm reaching out, you know, hey, I worked with you last year, whatever it was. I just wanted to check in. We've got a brand new catalog. The holidays are here, and I remember a couple seasons ago, or last season, you were very interested in anything cinnamon, so I wanted to check in with you and see if you were set on your scents for the holidays, and if not, what can I get you? So just even a quick follow-up, like I said, it can be months down the road that you've talked to this person, but I tend to find really good success when I'm actually touching base with those people, because it's those people who, yes, they were interested in Scentsy, and in between the time that they bought from me and now when I'm following up with them, maybe they've hit an online consultant or ran into, you know, went to somebody's website, went to the consultant finder and just ordered what they needed. Or maybe they went somewhere else. Maybe they were shopping at a big box retailer, getting some different wax and things like that, using it in their Scentsy warmers. Oh no! But we're bringing them back home, right? We're bringing them back to us, to the lovely Scentsy product, which is what we want. So those are the ones that I usually will get some good refill orders on. But those are also the ones that you need to be reaching out to and asking them, you know, again, not only touching base and doing that quick follow-up, but then also, you know, putting the bug in their ear. Are you interested in maybe hosting a party? Because, you know, we've got all these brand new, amazing products, and you can get them at half price or earn them for free if you host a party with me. It's really easy. So that's a really good way to start filling up your calendar, is doing those follow-ups. If you're looking for events, more on the event side of things, call your local Chamber of Commerce. Ask them if they've got any events on the calendar that are going to be coming up that are going to be more specific to like vendor events, right? They will be more than happy to put you in contact with whoever the coordinator is of each individual event. So that's a really great way to reach out into your own communities. Even if, and figure it out, you know, maybe go on Google Maps and figure out, you know, how far are you willing to go to book an event? For some people, they might have some really huge event that happens maybe like, 45 minutes from where they live or an hour from where they live. And it seems like that's kind of far. But if you're able to capture that event, yeah, it's kind of a far, long way to drive. But if you're capturing that event and you're able to really score with that event and maybe come out of it with, $5 to $100 or $1,000 out of the event or more, that hour drive was worth it, right? So think of your scope. Think about how far you're willing to travel for events. And again, contact those local chamber of commerce. Contact the city hall, get those phone numbers. You can spend a day, if you've got it, or some extra time in the evenings after work, just making some phone calls around. Just keep your notebook handy, jot down your notes of the people who you've called, who you haven't called, things like that, and you'll be able to catch up very easily. Another really great resource, especially for events and especially this time of year, are the local churches. Again, look at that scope of an area. How far are you willing to travel? Maybe some more of your local churches or organizations are already booked for their events. It doesn't mean that you can't reach out a little bit farther to some other surrounding areas and get those phone calls in, because you never know. You never know. They may already have Scentsy lined up, and if they don't, that just opens up an opportunity for you to meet a whole new brand of people, or a whole new customer base, right? A whole new customer base of people is going to be, bam, you're going to be their Scentsy consultant. How cool is that? So when all else fails, create your own event. That's my philosophy. If you truly have tried, you've called the Chamber of Commerce, you've tried the local churches, you've reached out to the local schools, women's groups, things like that, you've been reaching out and you're just getting nothing, network within your local area and find some other local direct selling consultants out there and put together your own event. Find a space that's reasonably priced. Just like you're going to sign up for a vendor event, you could kind of be the coordinator of the event as well. That will kind of help offset the cost of the actual hosting site. So if there's like a location fee, things like that, again, depending on how many vendors you get to come into it with you, it's going to lower the price per vendor, right? And then it just opens the opportunity for you, because all those direct sellers are going to invite their customers and friends and family and what have you. And you're just going to have all these little trees growing out there, and pretty soon you're going to have a really big event going on. So that's a really good way to be able to kind of take the power back, right? If you don't have it, then make it happen. I think it's really, really amazing. And sometimes you can find a lot of local organizations who are willing to kind of work with you on the rental fee of the space, or even sometimes let you use it for free. So that's even better. When you're creating your own event, try and give it more of a holiday theme, holiday shopping, extravaganza, what have you, things like that. And then of course you're going to want to market it. So if you're creating that event, you're going to want to be reaching out to those vendors who you're coordinating and setting up and letting them know, hey, keep this going, guys. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. And then do your best to market it as best as you can. Make up signs along the road, things like that. It will definitely help you out with getting people in the door to your event. Let's talk about home parties for a second here. I love a good home party, but I will tell you the majority of my customers just don't have time for it. So when it comes to a home party for me, I get super excited because I don't get to do very many of them. So it's really exciting and fun when I do. I save all my best ideas for my home parties. But my number one tip in home parties is keep it simple. Trust me, I've done the whole I'm gonna go above and beyond, and then what ends up happening, I end up carrying like 6 or 7 bags in, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, look at all of this stuff. You are trying to, whenever you're doing a home party, you are showing them what you do as a Scentsy consultant. So not only do you need to keep it simple just to keep it simple, because honestly you really don't need a whole lot of product. You can work directly out of your starter kit. So it's not like you need to have like this whole room full of product somewhere. I've done parties with just truly the essentials from a starter kit. It's possible, and it works just as well as if I had 50 warmers displayed. It actually works a lot easier simply because I'm not having to lug in 50 different warmers and boxes and setting them up and pulling them out. And oh, trust me, don't do it. Home parties, you want to be able to show the customers who may be potential new hosts or could also be potential new team members that your job as a Scentsy consultant is not to keep hundreds of things of inventory on hand. Your job is truly a direct selling business, right? You're taking orders, you're placing those orders, those deliveries are coming out, okay? Again, I'm not hoarding in some back room this whole thing of stock so I can go do lots of home parties and sell it just so people have it to go. You don't want to get into that trap, and that's something that Scentsy truly doesn't want you to either, okay? They want you to be in this business to make money. You're not here to hoard away product. So don't think that you've got to have a ton of product on hand to do either events or home parties, okay? You don't. It is truly possible. I'm living proof of that concept. But again, you don't want to be taking too much because these people are going to be looking at you going, this is what a Scentsy consultant does. Really? Wow, it looks like she does a lot more lifting and carrying than I ever thought I would if I were to join, because there's no way I'm taking all of that stuff everywhere I go. You want it to appear just like it is. We're truly, you know, a starter kit kind of company, right? Try and limit it to maybe one big bag and maybe a side bag. That's what I do. My side bag is usually like all my business stuff, the order forms, things like that. And then the big bag is usually the product and the table decor that I'm going to lay out. In doing a party, of course, you want to kind of have your own rhythm. I think that when you try to, I used to get this question a lot. I don't get it as much anymore. But I used to get the question of, you know, what do I say during a home party? How do I do a home party? And there really is no right or wrong way. I personally will always refer back to like a catalog walk. It's normally when I'm standing in front of a group of people and I'm just talking and sharing Scentsy, and I'm literally kind of, you know, flipping through the catalog and touching on the highlights within the catalog. That catalog really guides me into what I'm talking about with my actual home party guests. So use that as your script, okay? Don't try and make it scripted, because you're either gonna fuss with it or it's gonna come off weird, and that's not what everybody's there for. They're really truly there just to sniff the stuff. Trust me, they are. If you put out the testers, you'll just lose them in the world of testers. So they're not there to listen to a speech. They don't care. Make it fun, make it exciting, keep that spirit up. And then, of course, doing a home party, you really want to put out there that you're really still going to leave it open to any outside orders. If you guys want to go home and today or tomorrow, we'd like to close this out on Friday, but go ahead and put some calls out, see if you can get any outside orders. If you want to offer a personal incentive, that's a really great opportunity to do that. But really try to see if you can get any more outside orders to kind of bump up your host. So your host is getting more hostess rewards, right? That's what they're getting. They're getting more, you know, depending on where they're at in the dollar range for a party, that could mean the difference between one half price item and two half price items. That's a big deal. Host coaching is obviously key. We talk a lot about host coaching. I'm going to try and link my host coaching video up there or over there, wherever it's at on the screen somewhere up there. But I really want you guys to focus on host coaching. It does make a difference. What I like to do with my home parties, my hosts are my VIPs, so I want you to treat them like VIPs. Treat them special. They're the ones who took time out of their schedule to invite their friends, open up their home, maybe serve some snacks and beverages, what have you, but really treat them like a VIP. And I really will call it out when I'm at the home party, and I'll kind of do like an introduction. My name is Jacqui, blah, blah, blah. I'd like to thank Sally for hosting this party today. She is my host, so therefore she doesn't lift a finger today. I'm gonna do it all. That's what I do for my hosts. You know, so I'm the ones greeting the people at the doors or coming in, giving them a catalog. Hi, how are you doing? Introducing myself. And I really try and make my hosts kind of to step back. Now, I do have some hosts who are just very hands-on and they want that piece, and that's fine, of course. You know, you definitely want to work with your hosts and how they are too, because you don't want to take something away from them either. So it just kind of depends on your host. But I really do try to take all the burden off of my hosts. That's the whole point. This time of year, it's really fun to pick a theme. Guys, we are almost to Halloween. That would be a really cool theme. Have people come dressed up in costumes. If you're going into November, maybe give it a Thanksgiving theme. Do like a potluck and have everybody bring their favorite Thanksgiving side dish. Something like that. It's even really fun, especially this time of year, to do more like a mom's night out, right? Make it just all moms. This is the night for moms. Leave the kids at home with a sitter or the spouse or whatever, and have the moms come out and just have a mom night. It's really awesome for moms to connect that way. Give them an outlet. Ugly sweater party. There's just so many cool things that you can do this time of year. Let your imagination run wild. And then, of course, when you're doing a home party, what is the one thing we really want to make sure we're touching on? Booking more parties. We want to fill up more calendars, right? That's what Scentsy gives us with those perpetual host rewards, right? The perpetual party reward. Do you guys know what that perpetual reward is? The perpetual reward is for people who, Sally is my host, her guest Jane decided this was really cool. You totally treated Sally like a VIP. Can I host in January? Yes, you can. And then Sally was my original guest. Sorry, I was trying to figure out who I'm talking about. So Sally is going to be able to get the perpetual party reward when Jane has her party in January, okay? That's what the perpetual party reward is for. So make sure you're using that. Make sure that you're reminding people. Jane, if you host a party, if you go ahead and book a party, then Sally, because you're booking it off of hers, she's going to get an extra half price reward at your party. How cool is that? You're booking more parties, people. You're booking more parties. Use that perpetual host reward. Events. Okay, so my number one thing with events, I don't do a whole lot of events, so I'm not like the event queen. Don't think that I am, because I'm totally not. I do the smaller events. I'm not a huge event person. It's just me and me. That's just me, okay? I do smaller events. But one thing that I think is key is checking in with the coordinator of the event, okay? Usually the main questions I'm going to ask, you know, how big of a turnout are we looking? Are you expecting? Now, some coordinators know, some have no idea, and that's okay too. But you'll definitely know one way or the other if it's going to be this huge event and they're going to be like, oh yeah, last year we had 5,000 people coming through. Well, you know you're going to have a big event, right? Or they're going to say, last year we had about 50 people. It wasn't a busy day, but you know, it was pretty successful for the vendors. Great, no problem. And you can kind of adjust yourself accordingly when it comes to, you know, how much you're going to bring out for samples or how many product lists you need, things like that, okay? So that may or may not work for you. You may be able to get a good number, you may not. You also want to be asking the coordinator about electricity, the table and chair situation. Sometimes people forget about that. I always try and ask, is there going to be a table available? 9 times out of 10 at events, I always find that 9 times out of 10, they're providing me a table and at least one chair. So that's just stuff that I don't have to bring with me. Even better. But you definitely want to ask about electricity and make sure, even if they tell you, yes, I'm going to have electricity available at your booth or your vendor space, trust me, bring an extension cord with you, because 9 times out of 10, it's not completely close enough to your area, or by the time you get your table set up, the cords aren't stretching enough. It never fails. I always bring an extension cord. I always bring like a strip, plug-in strip thing. I always bring that with me, because I can't even tell you how many times that I've done an event where they were like, yeah, no problem, electricity's provided, and then I get there and the outlet's like way over there. Doesn't help me at all. So you be prepared on your end. If they provided it for you, awesome, no problem. You can just go back and put it in your car. It's okay. But at least you've had it just in case. Stock. Again, guys, we don't need to be hoarding stock in some back room in our house. It's not what we're about, okay? Sometimes for events, if you've got plenty of advance notice, you know, it can kind of help you to maybe order some things that you'd like to have in stock if you want to do more cash and carry. It is not a requirement. You do not have to do that. Again, I've done events with just the contents of a starter kit, okay? You don't have to have this huge stockpile of stuff just to be able to have an event. Again, we're a direct sales company. 9 times out of 10, the people who are coming to you from an event live somewhat locally, right? So you can place one big order, make a big delivery day out of it. When the order comes in, no problem. I'm going to hand deliver this to your home address for you. This is how it's going to go. And then it also gives you the opportunity to meet with them again after the event. So I think that's really great. Plus, when you're putting it all together in one big order like that, what's happening? What's happening when you do that? You become the host of the event, and you're going to be able to use those host rewards. Double thumbs up there, okay? Plus the fact, since it's all shipping to one address, you're going to get shipping for free. And again, you got to put your seal of spirit on everything that's going to be going out the door. And that is key when we're talking about new customers, right? They need to know who they're going to call when they need more Scentsy. So being able to have it all delivered to you and then you hand delivering it to these people, yes, it might take a little bit of extra time on your part to be able to get those deliveries out. But if you plan maybe an afternoon of just doing it, then that will work. I've done it that way before, but I was able to package everything up and again, have that personal one-to-one contact with these people and really kind of establish more of a relationship, because those people have now become truly my customer base. It really is a great thing. You can always, of course, if they don't want it to go through you, maybe they live too far or whatever the situation is, no problem. We can, of course, have it delivered to your house. There is going to be a shipping charge with that. I will say though, if those of you, if you're going to be doing an event, you really want to have stuff on hand to make sure that you're selling bars, bulbs. 9 times out of 10, that's what the people are looking for, because refreshingly enough, a lot of people now know Scentsy, and a lot of people know our reputation and they know our product. And so it may be, oh, I haven't seen my consultant in 6 months, but you've got some bars here and I really need new scents. That's 9 times out of 10 what they're looking for. So again, you know, whatever's in your business budget, if it works for you to order stock, then do so, but don't feel like you have to, okay? It's definitely not a requirement. It's also a good idea if you can find a friend. It's really a great idea if you can find a friend who is also considering joining, because then you can take them with you and they can really see you in real time and what you do as a consultant. That's a huge opportunity for them to kind of get that behind the scenes look at what it's like being a consultant. And I guarantee you, they go with you to at least one event, they're going to be signing up soon. They will be, because they're going to see how much fun you're having, how cool it is. Yeah, I'd love to be, I could totally rock this out. They're going to be signing up. So it's a really great use of a recruiting tool as well. Plus, it gives you another body to help you. Because just not only maybe just carrying in and setting up, but also if you have a table at an event and maybe it's a busier event, you're going to have more than one person vying for your attention at a time. So if you've got a friend who can say, oh, you're looking for bars? Yeah, they're right here. Or, oh, did you want to smell through the testers? Here, let me help. And that person can kind of be, you know, like your second hand or your third hand, I guess. So if you've got a spouse, even an older child who would be willing to come and help you out, you know, that helps as well. So try and see if you can find someone. And you can always reach out to a local team member. Hey, so-and-so, I'm doing an event this weekend. I could really use a second set of hands. Would you mind going with me? I guarantee you some members of your tribe will help you if you ask. So try that. Prepping the event. This is really where the prep work comes in handy. Okay. What I like to do is I like to highlight all my order forms. I highlight the order forms to the pieces that I want them to fill out, because for some reason, a highlighter makes a huge difference. I don't know why. It really doesn't seem like it should, but it does. If it's highlighted, people will fill it out. I will always fold my product list prior because I don't want to be standing there at my booth hurrying up and folding everything. I try and have them folded in advance. Label, 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 label everything. Everything that is going to be leaving your hands, leaving your table. You want to make sure it has your name and contact info on it. I can't say it enough. The product list, any catalogs you're going to hand out, make sure you got business cards on hand. Label your bars, your boxes ahead of time. Whatever it is that you're going to be selling, whatever product you've got, label it. Because the last thing you want to do is when you're rushing during an event, checking people out and taking order forms and bagging things up, is to sit there and remember, oh, I need to put my label on things. Label before you go. Prep your bags. That was the one thing that I totally neglected on the very first event I ever did. I didn't think about that. I didn't think that when people came up to my booth and they ordered like 6 bars and then they got like a warmer with it, they were just gonna like walk away with it like this, you know, carrying it away. Poop, I forgot bags. So I'm gonna remind you, take bags. If you don't have like the clear ones from Scentsy Family Store, go to the Dollar General or wherever and just buy bags. Even just regular gift bags is fine. But I try and prep my bags too. I will put in like a typed up little thank you note thing, and then I'll put in my business card so that way they know who to contact when they're ready for more. And of course I want to pull them into my social media. I want to make sure that they're getting on my Facebook fan page, on my Instagram and things like that, because I'm trying to really make them part of my customer base, and that's how I'm gonna do it. That's how I'm gonna capture them back. So make sure that that information's already in the bags. It's just gonna save you a step. Tester categories, that was another thing. I remember my very first event, I had just brought my big bag of testers, right? Man, now I gotta sit here and organize them. And so like for the first 30 minutes of my event, that's what I spent doing, was like putting them into piles. Do it ahead of time. Save yourself a step. Don't pull a Jacqui. Pick one warmer and then pick a scent that you're gonna warm in that warmer for your table, okay? And I really encourage you guys to do like a scent mix. Try and find a really good holiday mix, whatever that may be, whatever floats your boat. But when I say using it as a mix, that's using either 2 to 3 different scents to create this brand new scent combination, right? What are you doing? Because people are gonna walk up and they'll be like, wow, that smells fantastic. What is that? Oh, you're gonna love this. This is a combination of these 3 bars, and I warm them together in the dish, and this is what you get. Isn't that fantastic? And they're gonna be like, yeah, I need all 3 of those bars. What did you just do? You just sold a combine and save. The 3 bars for $14. Because you were warming it and people fell in love with the scent. That's how easy it was. So don't limit yourself to warming just one scent at an event. That's great. That's awesome because they're gonna love it anyway. But 9 times out of 10, if they're walking by and they're like, wow, that smells amazing. What is that? Oh, that's farm stand pumpkin. And they're gonna be like, oh, I'd love to have that bar. And they're gonna buy the 1 bar. I mean, hopefully you'll be able to talk them into the 3-pack or a 6-pack, but you run the risk of them just buying that 1 bar. If you're able to put at least 2 to 3 cents in there, you could potentially walk away with more combine and save orders than if you didn't. It's just stats. Make sure to get their contact info. Again, you're really working on pulling these people into your customer base. So the best way to do that is to get their contact info so you can have a way to communicate with them after the event and going forward, okay? Some people like to do the drawing box with the drawing slips, enter your name, put it in there, this is my drawing, you know, whatever it may be. You can do that if you'd like. Some other suggestions are just keeping like a post-it notepad. And when you're talking to people, hey, would you mind jotting down your name? And, you know, if it's easier to text you your cell phone, or if you're more of an email person, go ahead and jot your email down for me. That's a very quick way to get some information. Then you can pull it off, put it in your bag, and you've got their contact info. One thing that I have started doing is when I'm at an event, I usually have like a little chalkboard sign, and I will write my phone number up there. And what I do is when I'm talking to people, I will tell them, hey, text me. There's my phone number. Send me a quick text with your first name, first and last name. And then, oh, did you want to get in on my mailing list? Make sure that you send me your email or your mailing address. And then that way I'll be sure to put that in there for you. It's really easy for these people, right? Because 9 times out of 10, they have their phone with them, and it's a lot easier if they just text me. They don't have to remember me, but as soon as they text me, I'm creating a contact information thing for them in my phone. And again, now I've got their contact info. I'm able to start sending them monthly samples, or I'm able to do some follow-up with them if they end up ordering. Hi, Marley. So that's a really great and easy way too. Maybe you're somebody who's done a QR code for your Scentsy website. Do that, print it out and put it in a plastic thing and set it up at your table so people can easily walk by with their phone and scan it. And that way they've got their info. You just need to make sure you've got a way to get theirs back. So if it's easier to do more texting kind of the thing, that works too. It does work for me. And then make sure that you've got your payment point, whether that's your Square, your PayPal that you plug into your phone there and you swipe the card, whatever it is, just make sure that you're prepped and ready for it, okay? I usually, and this is just me, this is not a rule or anything like that, I usually will not do personal checks at an event. I will do cash, credit, or debit only. Yeah, it's just me, and it's just me. I don't like to be put in those awkward situations, so I try to avoid them at all costs, so I don't have to deal with it. But another thing that you could do too is very easily is you can send them, if maybe you don't have Square or PayPal, you could always use the Google Forms, and you can just, you know, hey, what's your phone number, and I'll text you the order form, blah, blah, blah. And you could send it to them if you've got it available on your phone or your tablet, if you've got that there. Table decor. We're going to talk about table decor very quickly. Just have fun with it, honestly. Again, don't make it too fancy or intricate. You know, that's great if you want to and you've got the time to, but it's just a lot of work for setup and tear down. So, you know, I like to keep it simple, and I like to really display my Scentsy products. So I will usually find, and 9 times out of 10, I'm using like the warmer boxes, and I'll throw a sheet over it so it's kind of draped and it looks pretty. Around this time of year, I'll usually take a string of Christmas lights and I'll kind of line those with my table. That's really all I do. I don't do a whole big thing on table decor, but by all means, if you want to, go all out. For a home party, I definitely don't recommend it, just because you're in somebody else's home, and again, you don't want to be carrying all that stuff into a home party. An event's a little different, but feel free to jazz it up as you wish. Some time savers, organizing your home office. So save yourself some prep time by keeping your home party and your event stuff. If you're going to be doing more events and home parties during this time of year, keep bags ready, okay? Don't totally tear them down when you get home. Keep things kind of organized in there, so that way when it comes time for your next home party or your next event, you've already got part of it already packed up, right? Save yourself some time. Work smarter, not harder, if you can. Samples. This is what I personally like to do, is I will make up a huge batch of samples at one time. I get them done, out of the way. I don't have to fuss with it again. I'm ready for my event. I always keep a post-it note, a pack of post-it notes in my office space. And then like when I'm starting to run low on things, I'll jot it down, kind of like a grocery store list for the fridge. Because in that way it helps me remember when I'm going to put in for a business supply order. Oh yeah, I forgot, I'm almost out of catalogs. I need to make sure I order more of those. It's on my list. So it's just more organization. It saves you time. It saves you hassle. Really helps. Organization really helps a lot. Finally, no stress. Don't stress. Don't let events or home parties stress you out, because your stress is going to transfer to your customers. You don't want that. No bueno. So don't stress. Keep it easy, light, fun, energetic, and exciting. They will pick up on that. They're going to love the product anyway, guys. You're just there to enhance the Scentsy. That's all you're there for. All right, so that brings us around to and there we go, guys. That was holiday parties and holiday events all in one. You see how we did that? It's so fun to do these. So get your calendar booked. I know mine is getting there. Not exactly where I want to be yet for my December, but I am working on my December. I've got my November kind of tied down, so I'm pretty good with November. I'm feeling good about it. But November is what I'm really striving for. So you're gonna see me on the phone making bunches of phone calls in the next couple of weeks to get this done. So I follow my own advice, people. Anyway, there we go. So make sure you're subscribing. Give me a thumbs up if some of these tips helped you or if they can help your teammates out. Feel free to share this video. If you have great ideas, you know what to do. Put them down there in the comments. Let's network. Let's tribe together. Join the tribe. Let's have some fun. Until next week, another Tuesday training will be coming for you. Until then, have a great rest of your week. Have a good weekend. Spend that quality time with those friends and family and enjoy. Until next time, peace, love, happiness. Bye.